Well, it's the Riverlands, all right. Hopefully y'all will get some consumption. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we're here with another reaction to House of the Dragon. We're on season 3, episode 5, which is called Unbowed and Unbent. Last episode, we had more of the royal problems that were happening, trying to figure out how to handle the whole Tumbledon invasion situation. Rhaenyra is doing her best, but it's always seeming like she's falling short in one aspect or another. We see that she sent Daemon off to try to figure out their financial issue, which is ongoing, and that had him facing off with his daughter. They had a pretty blunt exchange, and in the end, Rhaena basically said she wants to live in exile, and Daemon chose to lie on her behalf and say that she was not in fact the writer of Sheepstealer. Whether or not that's going to come back to bite him in the butt, we'll have to see, but that was the choice that he made. And then in Tumbledon, we see that Ormond realizes that there would not be the backup he was expecting from Aemond. He does not know that the reason is because Aemond was stabbed, but either way, his plans have shifted from just waiting to, basically do another invasion of King's Landing to now trying to push his nephew to become the next king. And we already see that with the occupation in Tumbledon, that unsurprisingly, the Old Town army is just full of the same savages we've seen all around. So that's where basically we left things, with young Darren being faced with a pretty heavy moral choice of whether or not to go up against his own sister and try to usurp the throne from his brother or risk the wrath of his uncle. So we're ready to jump into this episode. Let's do that. Just before I do, a reminder to please hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell. And also, if you'd like to catch an uncut version of its reaction, you can do so on my Patreon. All right, that out of the way, let's get into the episode right now.
So how long will it take you to build the bloody thing again?
Probably at least weeks.
We'll probably take 100 of your fastest riders and make for Stony Set. Secure the barge and transit there. It puts us back by a week, but we can do no better. It's our last chance to ford the river with an army of this size.
He may be young, but he's smart.
They flit about us like fucking deer flies. Another thing that we do not endure in the north.
He said we don't do that.
Then loose my wolves and me on the hunt, and we will bring him down.
Maybe that might work.
Or we could play at his game.
Which is what? What game have you figured out? I mean, I'm just saying the North are different. They're built different, so it might be a good counter to Cole. Too late. Damn, he got some assassins. Bitch made. Well, there's half the camp. That's annoying. We're stupid. When does Cole die, though? I'm so sick of that bitch. I need him gone before Rhaenyra. That's all I know.
If I'd known we were expecting guests, I would have made up the bed.
She's so creepy.
There's an old man who churns the butter, but he's blind in both eyes, and the boy who feeds the horses, and then there are the ghosts.
She's not lying about that part.
Who died here in chains in service to Harren the Cruel.
Not the Thunder being a paid actor.
This castle breathes.
But you won't be soon. Oh my God. She's unarmed. Y'all scared of a few bats? Just bat, and she disappeared like a vampire. Alice, you're crazy, girl.
Oh, you bloody craven!
Exactly. That's a man who has sense. He said it ain't worth it. Exactly. It ain't worth it. I mean, I don't think you can do the same thing with this one. He is a demon.
It's just a dream again.
You trust her?
She said I would die. And I ruined everything.
She did tell you that. And she wasn't wrong. Not one of her prophecies doesn't come true. I mean, better Alice than your actual mom. Oh, the cats. No more mice soon. Biological solution, much more ethical.
I'm not certain how familiar you are with disorders.
He's like a maester.
Female persuasion.
Yeah. She's got lady issues. I really hope that it's too late, I think, to take milk of, what, not milk of the poppy. What's it called again? The moon tea? If she's showing, then she's already past what's a natural, not natural, but a safer time frame.
I fear I can no longer offer you assistance
After
He's like, I
today,
gotta save my ass, ma'am. Trying to survive. It's like my 8th Targaryen. You do owe him that, though. He did save you. He is a chameleon, but he's got a chameleon with a heart.
She will kill it. She will have no choice. Or if she does not, she will take it from you. Aemon still lives, as far as we know.
He's at Harrenhal.
No, he was there, but he has fled. He's vanished.
Listen to her.
He burns, but without fire.
The dream.
I can't do it.
Helena, please. Please.
It's honestly
For your own sake, do you not
way
want to be
too
free?
far along in the pregnancy for this.
Think of it as a cup of tea. Nothing more.
But it isn't.
Yeah, she's not dumb.
It has delivered me from disgrace and ruin. It has delivered Rhaenyra herself when she was young, and it will deliver you too.
Basically, she gave it. You see the strays Cole just got? It kept us from having Cole's ugly, bald-headed babies. You need to take this. But no, I don't agree with this.
It's mine.
Period. Stand up for
My
yourself.
own. It's mine.
Stand up for yourself, Elena.
That you have pledged our castle as a trophy, free to any hedge knight who can bring you the head of Aemon Targaryen.
A hedge knight?
No matter if some grubby sellsword has dubbed himself Lord of Harrenhal in the meanwhile.
It's the disrespect.
I would be pleased to join your grace's council.
Like, the misogyny is crazy. This woman would never speak this way to Daemon or anybody else with a phallus.
But they are fugitives. We will root them out soon enough.
The whore.
We can hear you.
If only the Lady Massaria had been there with her promised bread and ladlefuls of stew.
Or if
Can y'all stop?
Consort City Watch had shown a penny's worth of restraint, pursuing the pettiest of crimes, the pettiest
Did
of
anyone
criminals.
see where Vhagar
Right? Can we get to the task at hand? Y'all can fight over Rhaenyra's poem later.
We don't waste our sweat fretting over a fox gone to ground. If you will not burn him,
He is not.
then my army will root him out soon enough.
As to that, there is fresh news.
Yes, please bring fresh news.
If I may, Your Grace, we arrived back only this morning.
Right? Can we sleep?
I will send Daemon.
I will go once I have dealt with this business in the city. Our fallen soldiers and...
The way no one's listening to her.
They are my men. And we depend on those men now to secure your rule.
Didn't listen to her, and you wonder why no one respects her. They're all like, is meeting over? She's like, no, I gotta go fight with my husband. Excuse me. Yes, actually, it is always like this.
Then my voice must again compete with yours.
Thank
On
you.
the contrary, I pledge to fulfill your command. Just later. He has fled once already before you. We are in no danger.
There is treachery somewhere, and I seek to uncover it.
She's right.
What you seek is revenge.
That too.
They are more than taunts. They are an insult to my sons. A challenge to my very legitimacy.
Rather
That's been since the get-go, though.
Young Prince Joffrey has returned this hour from the Vale.
Oh, right, my other child.
I'm told he's asked for you.
He must miss you. Does he know about his brothers? So much on her plate.
Which way is west?
I have no idea.
You don't know which way, where did the sun? Okay.
This is more than a folly, it is dangerous.
And you can't even walk properly.
Fucking elves!
But as I said, if you notice, he's not complaining about his pain as much anymore.
You are hungry and broken and spent. And
That's
we
a
are
nice way to
alone.
put
If we are
it.
To be
He's a
discovered.
little bitch is what he is.
What I can't do!
Okay.
This is his fault.
No, it's your fault for being a crap king.
I'm going to find him and fucking kill him. Or
Sure
die
you
in
will.
the attempt.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Sure. Sure, Jan. I mean, you're choosing to follow him.
The guests you receive. What is it that you want? And the gifts.
She knows what's up, is what she's letting you know.
As you see, she suffers terrible headaches. The maester is kind enough to tend
Something
to her.
tells me that girl knows the smell of moon tea.
It's a difficult thing, but should no longer delay.
What's it gonna do to you if you're not pregnant? You see how she didn't even ask you to take it?
Or a commoner.
Exactly. Give me the details.
I must appeal to you, Lady Massaria. There's surely no need for this to be spoken of again.
You would not, of course, seek to deceive the queen.
Would you?
I am her prisoner, as you were once, if I'm not mistaken.
By her mercy, because she could have and should have killed you.
As you say.
Yeah, she already knows you're full of it, Alicent. It's going to come down to whether or not it's worth telling Rhaenyra. This is the part that pisses me off about Alicent, though, is that Rhaenyra would not kill a baby. She just wouldn't do it.
You'd start at the base before dawn and aim to be the first one to see the sun rise from the beacon.
Someone kill them, please.
I hope to show it to you one day.
He's not worth it.
You can make a home at Old Town's Kristen.
Now stomp on him. Stomp on him. Not so nice to be ambushed, is it? The poor horsies. Should have been you. Seriously, what would that tea do to you if you're not already pregnant? It's gonna make you have like the worst period of your life?
No, they cut their bowels as well as their throat. Did they tell you
Well,
that?
maybe you shouldn't have been smashing in their doors and beating them up.
A rousing speech from the rogue prince himself. I'm not sure that's going to make up for steady wage anymore.
If I lead them, they will follow.
You sure? More gold cloaks. We have a fresh problem on our hands, don't we? Little spy. And these people are working for Ormond, probably. Makes sense that he would have spies. There you go. Civil unrest. It works.
The Maester tells me you've been most assiduous in your lessons.
Ooh, big words, guys. Assiduous. Look it up.
On the Hightower side, I mean, their battles, their enemies. Yes, it's been 3 days now spent in the pursuit of these dry histories.
He said your family boring.
Dry, did you say?
As paper.
No.
As your hair and your skin.
They may seem dry at first glance, but to learn from...
Jeez, Darren, grab a backbone.
And I'm grateful for it.
You could have your dragon actually burn him to death, right? You know that, right, Darren? Okay.
The Yellow Toad of Dawn. She was the only woman ever to have been gifted with a truly military mind.
Only woman? I hardly think so.
She does not sound so formidable.
Or maybe she makes herself look like that so men won't mess with her.
She swore that Dawn would ever be unbowed, unbent.
Episode title. Dorne has managed to hold their own for a while.
Is she a hero then?
Depends on who's telling the story.
The Targaryens knew nothing of our civilization. What they had, what they still have, is strength.
And murderous intent.
A cunning mind can resist the most savage of beasts. Dawn remains unbroken, even today.
Checkmate! Ho! I don't know if this is chess or not.
Let's start again.
You're a sore loser too? Typical of a Hightower, though.
Never apologize for victory.
Again, you can have him burned alive by your dragon, just saying.
I have had these made.
Coins with your face on them?
The son of Viserys, the beacon shining from the heights.
Why do you look 12?
There seems to be some trouble in the city, and some of Rhaenyra's soldiers must go to help the city watch. We will have one guard tonight instead of two.
And what do you propose?
With luck, we may escape and melt into the streets of King's Landing.
In your finery again?
Even once. Then that will be the end.
I will not leave her.
Risk one child, save another?
In fact, for the Queen to take the child to ward. We may even be able to send for her one day.
You look away when you lie.
Ooh, clocked. She's not lying about the fact that Rhaenyra would not hurt her. But I mean, at this point, I don't know what the right answer is, because it's like you're willing to risk both your kids at this point if you stay.
The Queen sees you as her talisman, a sign from the gods, but
It wasn't your fault.
She won't look at me.
She can't look at anybody right now, Bibbs. It's really not you.
I saw myself a hero, turning the tide of a great battle, and...
Girl, you just wanted to follow your man, and I don't blame you. It happens.
As do others.
It is pride, and I am punished.
It was hubris, yes.
My path lay straight before me, and now...
The path has vanished.
Find a new one.
And then I'll come and find you. And we'll fly to exile.
You can be with your sister!
Only if we eat first.
Aw, he's a soft-hearted one. You gotta take care of yourself, girl.
No, she will not abandon me.
Oh, she don't really like you. Please do wander around. Go even more insane.
Without her, I'm nothing.
You are mistaken.
You, even with her, you're nothing.
Aegon.
Queen says he's dead.
And that you killed him.
So now you know he's not dead.
He's dead. Because he will not let me be. He tormented me.
It's crazy that it's the bad eye that he keeps open.
I worshipped him.
Well, that was your first mistake.
And yet our mother.
Your mother doesn't like any of you kids. Literally.
It's the one a mother loves best.
Sure, Alice. Do what you need to do. Wrap him around your finger.
Who are you?
She's like, who do you want me to be?
Go on. Say it.
I told you so.
My dragon is dead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a pathetic cripple.
Well.
Father withdrew me from the tournaments, of course. Can't even remember the pretext anymore.
You were going to be the next king.
I had to sit and applaud him.
These two brothers, if they could just make out and leave all of us out of it for real, like.
Fluent in High Valyrian.
Well, try harder.
If I was given his fucking advantages, and Mother indulged him, she loved him more.
Listen to the two of them having the same bloody argument. Y'all just need to make out.
I must say, Your Grace.
What?
You're whiny.
You've done nothing.
Thank you.
But win.
Didn't I tell you he's a whiner?
And self-flagellate with a tenacity I find astonishing.
He's like, you shock me with your patheticness.
You had every advantage in life.
Thank you.
You who had every chance.
Thank you.
The finest tutors, the finest knights.
Clock. And still,
You lazed.
Thank you.
Reveling in mediocrity.
Clock him.
And drinking yourself into oblivion with your sycophantic friends.
Mm-hmm. Drink up that truth. Drink it up.
You were a terrible king.
You were.
You are a terrible man.
Not even past tense. He said you suck.
There can be no harm in it at the least. You could try it.
Not Damon. Oh, damn. He loves you.
4 of my men lie dead. 6 if you count the 2 from yesterday. Se che si prendono Mary Sazuko.
How do you know that the Septons don't speak High Valyrian?
Grinkondan.
Do you see the growth and how she can admit that, Damon?
Mere undos.
That part.
Darian sagon inut setis.
Homie's like, I know you're talking about it and I can sense it. Right? Like, did we think this was going to be an easy road? Right? You need to grow up, Rhaenyra. Misogyny exists. It's true, it's a lot of what ifs. Misogyny. It's called misogyny.
These are men only. Nothing more.
Then why can't you find them? Diamond Targaryen Xeneden Conferrio.
Oh, she's going for the ego now.
Iora Osnas Don.
Not him being turned on. Y'all.
You are more than this.
He likes fighting with you. She's not wrong, though. These are all valid points. But misogyny is an insidious gas that poisons everything around it.
They see no sense in continuing with his plan, and to speak truth, nor do I. We grow weak. Stony Sept still lies far ahead.
He's not listening to a word you say because he's an idiot.
Cut straight through the lowlands toward the crossing. We may yet still gain a day or two over Tully's house.
That's a man with no brains. I'm so sorry. All he's got left is his ego. What is this guy? We've had close-ups on him 4 times now. What's your deal, bro?
Just hire the fucking shit.
Homie's like, I'm glad you saw things my way. Just had to, you know, completely deflate your ego first.
7 hours.
Wow. Is she oh, she got smarter with the clothing this time. Let's, thank goodness, we grew.
Did you imagine I wouldn't be watching?
I'm a mistress of whispers.
In but a short time, Helena's condition will make itself known, as these things cannot help but do.
It is not for me to decide.
These things?
I heard tell of the White Worm.
The cat.
She had the cunning to play all sides, not just lapdog to the queen.
Oh, we're going for the ego.
In the mouth of a high tower.
Rhaenyra will do in the end what she has to do, and what she has to do will be dire. There is only one who
Or
can walk
is
path
that
with
what
her.
you would do?
Knows what Damon is.
They've ever been two sides of a coin. As much as she may deny it.
No.
Will you stake so high a wager in the whims of a dragon rider?
I want to go out.
Ma'am?
You gain the queen no advantage, but if you say nothing...
Interesting.
You earn yourself favor with the Hightowers.
Who cares about the Hightowers? Interesting offer, but is it valuable? Can't blame Allison. She got to plead for her kid.
I tried to stay awake for you, Your Grace.
I don't think she wanted to see him awake. Last of her brown-haired children. It's gonna stir some emotions. Well, it's the Riverlands, all right. Hopefully y'all will get some consumption. Leeches? I live. I know he's like, as a noble, I have never been so inconvenienced. Is this Harrenhal again?
Good sir, this has become tiresome.
Right? How many of you is gonna keep showing up?
I've heard about you. Witch.
What's
She's no
she gonna do
witch.
about it?
She's an imbecile.
Oh yeah, underestimate her, please.
I'm making my soul
Exactly. How dare you? Hit the crotch harder. Well, you wanted Damon, or Aemond, you got him. It's still screw Aemond for life, but I do appreciate that he stopped her from getting graped. That's what y'all deserve, just if you were gonna stand by and watch a woman get assaulted, even if she is crazy.
Eating dates and incense while Westeros is reduced
His
to ash.
Grace is in no state to fight.
No.
Yeah, at this point.
Laris, put some chit for you to hold until such time as benefits you.
Mm-hmm.
We need only bring him to Lannisport, where he will be sheltered.
Lannisport?
Servant, I was only risking my life at sea for our
Look what he found. He was kind of dying to do that. You did make him kiss your boot. Well, the camp's about to descend into chaos. Time to go!
And make a grim example of them. We are hunters, not prey. Hunters.
Feeling like you're prey at the moment. You're getting slaughtered.
The alleys of King's Landing would boil with corruption and depravity. I look to you now to uphold your vows to the city.
For free? No.
You will be repaid twice
what
over.
gold?
And in the years to come, as dawn finally bends the knee.
Keep dreaming, Damon.
It seems the Lord of Three-Bottom has not been altogether forgotten.
We've apprehended someone, Your Grace. River Road.
Really? Spy? I don't trust anyone being apprehended unless it was absolutely a ploy. Oh, you weren't planning on crossing, were you? But you can swim, eh? Go on then. Let's hope an undertow carries you all the way to hell.
The rivermen have crossed and burned the bridge behind them.
Oopsies.
So we failed.
Don't cry. Sure, Cole's got some other plot devicey plan that's about to come up. Why? Why? What? Do we even know if he knows anything?
I was the only one who's worried.
Loyal.
It was the king! He said... Look.
The coin?
In my boot.
You had to lose an eye to give that up, bro? I mean, they're probably gonna kill you anyway.
Compliments of King Daeron Targaryen, he said.
The new king with his own coin. And where were you gonna spend that? It could have been painless.
Perhaps this is the best we could have hoped for.
Cole ain't gonna give up.
But my path is set before me. And what is that path?
Why do you care?
What more can we do? We will join them.
Kill them for fun.
Face them head on.
He wants to die. He's like, I need to die on something.
Certain death.
That's what he wants. Have you not figured that out yet?
This was your goal.
There you go. Welcome to the party. Some of us got here a while ago.
Our fate was always assured, Sir Gawain.
He said, not me, I'm rich.
But I've been a servant all my life.
I wonder why. Maybe it's because you don't give leader energy. Never have.
But I will not let them diminish me now.
Sure.
I am the realm's greatest warrior.
Sure.
And I will die as such.
Greatest warrior is crazy.
And not in their service. Finally.
But are you not waging this war in service of...
And they will sing songs of it.
Who? Who? You? A servant? That's cute.
And Queen Alicent herself will hear them.
Oh, you care about your little lover who's forgotten you long ago. Aborted all your babies.
What is this? Who is this?
Darren.
Ormond has declared him king.
She's like, I don't even have my own coins yet.
When we had the chance.
He's like, you remember when I went through the army and I said I should kill them all and you told me not to?
She hears something.
There are a lot of hidden passages in this place. Yeah, homie's like, y'all have fun dying. It's not on my docket.
The crone lights our way. Ours
Is this
is
the
path.
Gold Cloaks area? Oh my god, did they kill all of them?
Careful.
Y'all still in your fancy silks again?
We have to go back. There is no way back. The door is shut.
Well, that wasn't very smart of you. See, now if you actually were using your hand. Oh. Yeah, maybe if you'd like been smart, you would have sent someone down to scout the tunnel first. There's the whole damn City Watch with the Last Supper. The Last Supper portrait? Well, there goes all your control of King's Landing out the door. It's getting messy in there. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I mean, Flea Bottom was never really all that control to begin with, but now, and of course, they waited until after the Gold Cloaks went and rattled everybody and got them on their bad side before taking them out. So now they're all gonna have a bunch of negative sentiment towards the crown. Oh, the mess and the plot thickens, y'all. It plot thickens. All right, guys. Well, that was episode 5, Unbound and Unbent. And I feel like that was definitely speaking a little bit more, I mean, you know, a little bit about Kristen Cole, but also just the fact that pretty much everyone in this war that's still standing, one of the reasons so much death and destruction and mayhem is occurring is because nobody's willing to bow. No one's willing to do the thing to compromise and save lives and to preserve. And the one person that's somewhat tried to do that from time to time has been Rhaenyra, but it's usually too late and not with enough thought of the repercussions. And I'm not saying she's necessarily wrong, because, you know, anyone who's watched me on this channel, you know, I'm never going to advocate for needless death if you can avoid it. But the way that the Targaryens' rule, unfortunately, left Rhaenyra in a very uniquely disadvantaged position, right? Like, I've said this since last season, that I feel like Rhaenyra, she was very fortunate in one way, in that she was raised by a father who did not care for the violent and dark nature of the Targaryens, right? It's in there, like, from Got to this story, they talk about the taint in the Targaryen blood, the need for death, the madness. But they're not all like that. And thanks to when they went to Westeros and started mixing in with a few of the locals, I do think in some cases, some of that was maybe filtered to some degree. But the point is that Rhaenyra grew up in an environment where the absolute thirst for power and the lust for vengeance was not forefront in her life. She was never raised to be that way. Whereas Daemon, on the other hand, very much was kind of in that mindset. And again, not all of that was probably, you know, his choice, but that's the way it ended up. And so my point is that when you have an established rule that was brought about through violence, right? The whole taking of Westeros, the 7 kingdoms, was done through fire and blood, right? It was forcing people to bend knee. It was taking out acres of farmland. It was burning armies alive. It was wiping out entire houses. Like, it wasn't a benevolent campaign by any stretch. The Targaryens came in and cut a bloody path through Westeros until most bended knee just to stop the bloodshed, with the exception of a few outliers that were never quite, you know, well, let's say they cooperated, but they never bent, i.e. Dorne, i.e. the North. But still, by and large, the fealty and the loyalty was not gained through any level of respect for the Targaryen. It was gained through a sense of, we need to preserve our lives. So with that, there's so much latent and very justified resentment that exists with most of these houses, especially the ones that were quite successful and quite lucrative before the Targaryens showed up. And, you know, I feel like the Hightowers are a great representation of the sentiment that not just them, like many families in Westeros felt the same way. But you know, for the sake of the story we're learning right now, what we're hearing Ormond say is very much the belief system that many of them have. Like, these perverse, twisted, incestuous aliens came out of nowhere with their demon beasts, and they forced us to bend knee when we didn't want to. So we don't like them, we hate them, and the only reason that they maintain power is because they have the violence, they have the numbers, but more importantly, they've got these huge dragons that can bring an entire kingdom to its knees in a matter of days. So when you feel that way, then that's the only way, so when you establish your rule in those conditions, which is what the Targaryens did, that is the only way you're going to be able to maintain your rule, unfortunately, right? Like, we see that obviously as time went on, the Targaryens definitely eased up on some of the more, shall we say, twisted practices that they had, but by and large, the ever-present threat of the dragons and being able to take out an entire, like I said, an entire year's worth of crops or burn down an entire village at a whim, that was enough to keep people from not stepping too far out of line. But then you have Rhaenyra, who's coming in, and before that, her father was not about that life. He wasn't about the, if you give me smack, I cut your head off. If you dare challenge me, I kill your family, right? He wasn't on that. He tried to be benevolent. He tried to talk to people as people. He tried to treat everyone equally. He didn't want to rule that way. And that is exactly how Otto Hightower got in there when he realized there was finally a crack, as you can say, in the defenses. And he got in there, and we see like the ripple effect of the poison that he managed to get in those years he was there. None of this would be happening if Otto was not there, right? If Otto was not there, I would actually venture to say that Viserys may have named Daemon his heir. I know he had a lot of issues with Daemon, but a lot of those were exacerbated from what I'm remembering of season 1, and I'm going by the show here. Otto was in his ear all the time saying that Daemon can't be the king, and these were all the reasons why, right? So I do think that Viserys absolutely had his reservations about Daemon, but I do think he probably would have named him in the end. And things would be so different if Daemon had taken the throne. I don't think he should have, personally. I feel like Daemon's kind of crazy, but for the sake of the type of rule that the Targaryens have established, as I mentioned, he would have been perfect for it, because we saw Daemon suffers no fools. He suffers no disrespect. He rules with an iron fist. And that's what everyone's used to, right? And there wouldn't have been any challenge to his ascension outside of, obviously the Hightowers and a few people, but they would know that they couldn't mess with Daemon. So anyway, all that to say that this is where Rhaenyra is kind of suffering now, because this whole episode, once again, we're seeing that she has no control in her house. She's the queen, she's wearing the crown, but much like a Dragonstone, people aren't listening to her. They're talking over her. They're whispering at her council table. They're still using words like bastards and whores and stuff, talking about her family, her extended family, and the people she's respecting. They're not listening. She's issuing orders, and Daemon's telling her in front of the entire council, nah, I'm not doing that. Like, hello, that other woman who joined her council came in barking at Rhaenyra like she's a little girl. Like, if you don't have the respect of your inner circle, how are you supposed to have the respect of your people, right? And obviously some of it is because Rhaenyra is not 100% equipped for this job, right? I saw a comment that someone left on one of my videos saying that, oh, like Rhaenyra had all this time to prepare. Why isn't she should be ready? But there's a big difference between being prepped for the job and actually doing the job. And also the fact that she's not coming into a typical rule here, right? All the other Targaryens rolled into their role with usually very little opposition, or at the very least they had support, right? Go back to season 1. Her dad had a full small council. Everyone knew their job. The machine was still rolling. Things were well oiled, right? If you had to transition into power, you weren't changing too much, right? You were just kind of keeping the status quo. That is not what Rhaenyra stepped into. She stepped into the mess that her brother created. She stepped into the mess of the completely ill-prepared Hightower / Hightower descendant reign, which was a mess. Even Otto had to admit after a while, man, like, you are so, remember when he said to Aegon, you're useless. Your father was right. You are not fit for this throne. I can't even make you a good puppet. You're that bad. So anyways, Rhaenyra did not have a good shake going into this. But as I said, the biggest silent, insidious, formless enemy, as she described it in the episode, is misogyny. That's really what it comes down to. If Rhaenyra was a male Targaryen, none of this would be happening. If she had a phallus, none of this would be an issue. I mean, sure, Otto probably still would have tried to get one of his kids in there, but you get my point. It would have been less resistance from everybody else. But no one respects her because she's a woman. That's all they see. That's all they see. So yeah, it's just becoming a mounting issue for her to deal with this. Like even her son is back. Her last child of the Strongs is back, and she can't even bear to look at him right now. And I know that, of course she's saying she's busy, she had things to do, but I genuinely think it's because this is the last child that looks like her other two sons that she just lost, right? Her younger children aren't there, but those ones look like Daemon, right? This Joffrey is the last of her first set of kids, and I think she just is a little scared of what it's going to mean to see him and look at his eyes and hear him and be reminded of the sons that she lost. She's trying so hard to put her grief to the side and focus on this rule, even though, as I said a couple episodes back, like she's a mess. She hasn't even fully recovered from all that she's gone through, and yet this is what she has to deal with. So yeah, King's Landing is a mess. There's really no other way to put it, and Rhaenyra's doing her best, but with no one listening to her or really respecting her, it's becoming a challenge. Even her Lady of Whispers, right? She figured out what was going on with Alicent and with Helena, and at the moment she's holding on to that information. But Alicent, as I said, I don't know why the mistress let her talk, but Alicent, as I said, I don't blame her. That's her daughter. She's been trying to protect Helena, and as I said, out of all of her kids, that's probably the one that deserves the most saving. But yeah, we'll see whether or not, I keep forgetting her name, but we'll see whether or not the Mistress of Whispers decides to tell Rhaenyra about this. I think she will, but only if she feels like she's going to get something out of it. Because that's one thing about her, is that she doesn't really care about Rhaenyra like that. Like she does, like clearly she has an attraction to her. There's a relationship there, but as always, she's a transactional woman, and everything she does is because there's a benefit to her in some way. And so, as I said, right now she's got this tasty tidbit of info about Helena, but is it worth anything at this point? And I feel like that's information she might sit on for now until she feels like she can get some type of advantage out of it. But all that to say, actually just kind of sidetracking into those two, Alicent is a dumbass. I don't know what to tell you. Like at this point, girl, Rhaenyra is not a kid killer. She doesn't do that. She would never do that. She would never take out a newborn. You would do that. You are the person who's gone and done horrible, terrible things in the name of what you think you had to do. Rhaenyra has fought against that consistently. I'm not saying she hasn't bowed to do some of the things she didn't want to do, but by and large, Rhaenyra has stayed within her moral principles, which is kind of some of the reasons why she is where she is right now. One thing she has never negotiated on is hurting children. Like children, not like someone who just happens to be someone's child. Like in the case of Aegon, there's a reason she wants Aegon gone. Right? There's a reason she wants Aemond gone. They both resulted in deaths to people who mean something to her, but they're adults, right? But kids, just like little Jaehaera, she's like, I'm not going to hurt Jaehaera. I would never do that. She said with Darren, I'm not going to hurt him. I'll send him to the wall, right? Is it the greatest life? No, but Rhaenyra is not the kind of person who's going to take out a child if she does not have to. So I don't know why Alicent didn't just, appeal to her and say, hey, Helena's pregnant. We just found out. Yes, it could be a boy, but if it's a boy, like I'll agree to whatever you want, just spare the baby's life. And I'm sure Rhaenyra would be okay with that. Rhaenyra would probably hide the pregnancy the entire time, so no one even knew that there was another descendant. But Alicent, once again, acting like she knows the way Rhaenyra would act when she's been wrong almost every single time. But anyways, yeah, poor Rhaenyra, poor King's Landing, or Cat's Landing is what we should call it now at this point, because it is a hot mess. And then as we saw at the end, the Gold Cloaks are now effectively defunct. There wasn't a ton of them to begin with, but now there's not a lot. And who's going to want to recruit, right? Who's going to want to, sign up, I should say, knowing what happened to the last set, right? Until they figure out where the rat is, how they can get in and figure out who these people are. It's not safe to have another set of Gold Cloaks. Who do you bring in? Do you bring in military? They don't have any. They don't have any. They're all spread thin right now, trying to put out the fires of the war. So as I said, it's just, every passing episode, we're just seeing how overwhelming this whole situation is and this mess that Rhaenyra is attempting to clean up. But honestly, the second she puts out one little fire, a huge flame breaks out in another space. So yeah, I do feel for her. Outside of that, we had a little bit of Aegon. The only thing I think that's noteworthy about that is I really liked that Larys told him about himself. Somebody needed to tell that annoying waste of flesh the truth. His own mother couldn't do it. His own father couldn't do it. So Larys told it to him straight. He said, bro, and I mean, it's so, ooh, it is such a great reflection of the selfish mindset that so many people have, right? You have Egan whining and moaning, saying that the reason that he was a bad king and all the bad things that happened is because his brother was more talented than he was. Oh, my dad pulled me out of this so I didn't get the same training. Oh, Egan was better, or Aemon was better at High Valyrian than me. Oh, mama, it's all because of, what? Huh? Do better. What do you mean? Like, obviously with any set of siblings, any set, like especially when there's lots of siblings, but you usually never have two kids that are exactly the same at everything. It is very common between children to have one that's the athletic, prodigy, like picks up on sports and athletic things, no problem. You got the other one who might be a complete brainiac, picks up on schooling and education and things like that really, really well. You got the other one who might have an affinity for music and the arts. Like, very rarely do you have kids that are evenly matched with all those things. It doesn't mean that any kid's lesser. It's just a matter of what you're good at. Egan gave up ages ago because he was spoiled. He had a mother who didn't give a crap about him, a dad that was slowly decaying and had more things, or was more concerned with making his little model of old Valyria, and then a grandfather who just kept telling you, you're gonna be king, so shut up. So he just got lazy. As Laris put it, I can't remember the exact words, but something along the lines of, you became comfortable in your mediocrity. And that's exactly what happened. He saw that Aemond, who was driven to do better because he knew he was a second born, he knew he wasn't gonna see the throne, he knew he's always gonna be looked at as the other kid. So he was driven to make himself stand out. Aemond could have been just as mediocre as Egan if he didn't care to be seen. And hilariously, both him and Egan believe that, or him and Aemond, I should say, believe that their mother favors the other when she don't like either of you bitches. Like, that's the line. She don't like none of you. But anyway, but yeah, I'm just really glad, like, that whole speech was such a great, like, you can even translate it into the real world around how many people who, if they don't do well in life or things don't go their way, they love to throw blame around when it's like, is it really somebody else's fault, or did you not appreciate what you had and make the most of what you had? Maybe you need to look inward. Maybe if you looked inward, you would have been a better king, or at least tried to be a better king. Because if you'd been a good king, maybe people would have worked harder to keep you where you were. Maybe even Rhaenyra would have been like, even though it's my birthright, Egan's a damn good king. Maybe I should just leave status quo, but you didn't care. Like he said, you drank, you whored, you lazed around, you blamed everybody for everything, you wasted money. You sat there and were a spoiled child. And then he's like, you were a terrible king and you are a terrible person. Love that clock. He needed that. Will it make a difference at this point? I would think probably not. But I'm glad that someone got the chance to finally inform him that you're nothing special. Now, I said this a lot in season 1 and a little bit in season 2 that, while a lot of the blame falls on Egan, a little bit does fall absolutely on Alicent and on Viserys. They both were terrible parents. They gave no guidance. As I said, Alicent does not look at her children as these beautiful extensions of herself that she wants to nurture. She looks at them as the price she paid for her freedom. She does not like them. She cares for them, but she does not like nor really deeply love them. So if you raise a child with this distance, this no sense of connection, this dissonance between you and them, it's going to affect them very negatively, and it has. All 3 of her eldest children have problems. I mean, Helena turned out okay, but I think it's because she's already special, right? I think if her brain was typical, she probably would be just as bad as her brothers. But that's completely on Alicent. And I've said this, I talked about it a lot in season 1 and season 2, that one of the stark differences between Alicent and Rhaenyra is that they both became parents very similarly in age, but Alicent resented her kids and treated them like I said, like a duty, whereas Rhaenyra has always adored her children and she's put a lot of effort and love and care into raising them. And that's why her eldest sons were, as everyone said, they were kind, they were good, they were fair, like they were the kind of kids you wanted to, like that's the example of what you wanted your kids to be. So anyway, that was an interesting little sidebar with Egan. Aemond, a little bit on him, he's still under the spell of Alice. Of course, Harrenhal's doing its thing, messing with his head. He's already getting prophetic dreams. Yes, dude, you are gonna die in a hail of fire. Get used to it. But Alice, of course, they haven't revealed in the show why she's bothering to protect Aemond, why she's hiding him from everyone. I love her little parlor tricks with like the bats and, just getting in people's heads. But yeah, like through her speaking with Aemond, we found out, as I just mentioned, that like Egan, he feels like everything he's done has been for his mother's approval, which he's never felt he had. He felt like his mom liked his brother more and that he did all these things to try to prove himself. But then in the end, his words, I'm nothing without my dragon. which is somewhat true, but not in the way that he thinks, right? All Vhagar gives him is some level of power, right? Vhagar allows him to be a bit more of a bully, but if you were actually the shit, you wouldn't need Vhagar. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you were actually that guy, Vhagar would just be an accessory. And that's what I will give Daemon, is that Daemon does not need, what's his name? Cyrax to be the menace he is. He was a menace with or without the dragon. You feel me? So that's what Aemon doesn't recognize. But again, it ties into the very same things I just talked about with Aegon. He was given pretty much no care, no affection, thrown to the wolves. And on top of that, he was the second born. So he was the spare. So he didn't really feel like he had any place in his world, or sorry, in his family, or, you know, in the world that he was raised in. So anyway, we see that he protected Alice, and that which means that he feels some type of kinship to her. He's already laying on her, calling her mother. So I think we all know where that's going, unfortunately. We had a teeny bit on Darren, not much outside of seeing that obviously he's been well educated. He feels like the whole war history is boring, but you know, his uncle basically saying that you need to understand like the people who stood up to the Targaryens, because that's what you're gonna have to do. But that's kind of crazy to be telling him when Darren is half Targaryen. Like, he's actually in the family. He's not a Hightower. He is in fact a Targaryen, more so than not if he's got a dragon. So anyway, but it does show, like, they gave us little hints into who Darren is. Like, he's clearly very desperate for his uncle's approval, and I get that because that's pretty much the only family that he's known. But he also is clearly smarter, shall we say, and probably a little more strategic than his uncle is, right? They, you know, the whole chess thing of him winning the chess thing, him winning the game that looks like chess. You know, the fact that he immediately got scared tells you a lot about the kind of upbringing that he had with Ormond, right? Ormond, as we saw, he's got a quick temper, not a lot of sense. So yeah, I feel like Darren is in a situation where he probably could easily supersede his uncle if he wanted to. But because, like I said, he had no other parent or family besides him, he feels this sense of loyalty that he just, at this point, has no reason to go against. But anyways, he now knows that, like, his uncle's in full swing with this whole "you're the new king of King's Landing," printing coins for him, the whole thing. So Darren had an interesting expression with all this. I don't know how, again, I'm not sure how on board he is with this whole thing, but, you know, we're getting small pieces of him so far. We don't have a ton of episodes left, so I don't know how deeply we're going to get into Darren, but they're definitely giving us a little bit of his mindset, and he's not giving as bloodthirsty as the Targaryens, but he's also not giving as greedy as the Hightowers. So it'll be interesting to see how they develop his personality as, you know, he gets pushed further and further towards this destiny his uncle thinks that he's got. And then finally, a good chunk of this episode, to my chagrin, was focused on Cole and his people. And we see that, yes, he's thinking that the best they can do if they can't find Aemond is to try and finish out this campaign in some way. This all boils down to the fact that Cole is, as usual, a coward and craven, and he just doesn't want to deal with the fact that Rhaenyra won. That's really all it comes down to. This is still boiling back to how many years ago when that 15-year-old girl on the boat said no to picking tangerines and being his little housewife over being a princess. Yeah, he's still mad about that. To this day, he can't fathom why Rhaenyra didn't want to be nothing more than his housewife picking dirt out of his toes and eating, what did he say? Like eating persimmons and like cinnamon. Like, shut up, sir. I need you to be so serious. But anyway, that's all this comes down to. It's an ego trip that he's been on for way too long, and he cannot handle that if he goes back, he's going to have to admit that Rhaenyra won. He's going to have to admit that Rhaenyra has more power and could have him executed like that. He's been living off of his desire for revenge. He's been living off of seeing Rhaenyra suffer. He doesn't want to go back and handle his own consequences like a true coward. So instead, he's like, let's just do this death march, right? Because we saw, what's his name? Why do I always forget the name of the guy that was with him? Gwaine? Yeah, Gwaine. Gwaine was like, I can give you sanctuary. I can give you a life. Like, it won't be perfect, but if you come back with me, you'll be set up. You'll have the finances you need, a home. Like, you'll be decorated as a hero of the realm, or at least a hero soldier. Let's just turn back and let these people go back to their family. Like, we did the best we could. And he's, nah, I'd rather walk in 300 style and try to kill as many people as I can before I die, because then they'll write songs about me and Queen Alicent will love me. She don't like you. She don't even like you, Cole. You are a pawn. You're a dick, scratch an itch. That's it. Just like Rhaenyra, that woman drank so much moon tea, making sure not one of your ugly babies came out. And here you are thinking you're gonna impress her? You think she gonna mourn you? You think she cares? Alicent is trying to not get her head chopped off. She ain't got time to worry about your ass, sir. Such a loser. I'm sorry, I will never like Cole's character. In my personal opinion, I feel like his storyline ended like at the middle of season 2. Like, I just feel like we don't have any use for him anymore. Like, what point do you serve? Really and truly, what point do you serve? And I mean, again, I'm heavily biased because I've not liked his character since the way he acted in season 1. But I'm like, yeah, I just feel like at this point, I'm like, okay, good. Like, go march it. Yes, swim across the river if you can. If the currents don't take you away, hopefully you'll get taken out by an arrow instantly. Like, I'm tired of Cole. I'm tired of him. And as I said, if nothing else, I need him dead before Rhaenyra. That's all I know. That's what my girl deserves after everything. So yeah, that's basically it. He basically told Sir Gawain, I'm going in there. I don't want to live if it means living under Queen Rhaenyra. And Gawain was like, that's cool. I'm rich. I'm out. So he left. And I guess whatever soldiers at this point are so pissed over what happened, they're going to continue marching on if that's the last thing that they've got to do. And that might be for the best anyways, because many of them would be killed anyways. I mean, if Daemon has anything to say about it, they're dead. So might as well go out fighting, I guess. But yeah, that was pretty much the episode, right? About different people taking different stances on not changing who they are, not bowing to the status quo. Ooh, speaking of Unbowed, sorry, last little tidbit. My girl, Helena knows she knew she was pregnant. I'm knowing her, she probably knew the second she conceived. But anyways, she knew she was pregnant, kept it a secret because she knew what her mother would make her do. And I really love, because Helena, we always see, like, since season 1, she's always been, for the most part, very passive, very accepting. You know, she lets people kind of push her around because it's not that deep to her. But when her mom tried to force her to drink that moon tea, she said, she screamed, he's mine. This baby is mine. And I'm not taking this damn tea. And I love that for her. I just love that she's doing what she can to stand up for herself, because her life has been so out of her hands, right? Compared to her brothers that have way more agency, she's just been at the mercy of this twisted system. And she's like, my kids are like the one thing I have. And I think especially after losing her son, this baby means so much more to her, you know? And so I'm not mad at her. Like, again, as I was saying, if we're thinking about real world terms, if she's already to the point of trying to take an taking an abortion solution at this point would probably harm her more than not. So at this point, I figure just let her have the baby. I think Helena, she's aware enough to know that if she has this baby and it ends up, you know, at the hands of Rhaenyra, then that's just the risk she's willing to take. But at least what she does have control over is gestating the baby. And that's what she wants to do. So I really loved seeing that side of Helena. I love the fierceness that she kind of said to her mom, like, listen, I'm gonna do something you never did and stand up for my babies. So, you know. So yeah, love that. And again, showing that unbent, right? She wouldn't bow on this one. She wouldn't break on this one. She stood her ground. So that was really good to see. But yeah, like I said, another interesting episode. We're definitely seeing how they're mounting things in the whole King's Landing situation to come to a head. What that head will be, I'm not sure, but it's not looking good, right? Because it's very shaky. Rhaenyra has King's Landing, but barely. Like I said, it's standing on matchsticks right now and they're already starting to buckle. So where is that going to leave us? That is the question. Very, very interested to see where it's going to go. So enjoyed the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please show some love and I'll see you in the next one.